Welcome to She Said podcast.
We're going to talk about relationships and love.
We're going to talk about love.
Love.
I don't know about that, but we're going to talk about relationships. Thanks for joining, everyone. It's going to be an interesting week. We'll talk about our relationships because obviously I'm married and
past, present, future.
Yeah, past, present, and future. So we'll talk about my relationship dynamics versus her
Mine.
dating dynamics.
My future husband.
So
it's happening.
We'll see.
It's happening.
So, I guess let's start with yours. Let's start with you this week. Why don't you talk about your relationship dynamic as a dating teenager with the intent to marry?
Gonna get my freak on.
Oh my god. You were so vanilla, it's not even funny.
Okay. Well, we started dating when I was 13 in 8th grade. When I switched schools when we recently moved to Florida. And he was 2 years older than me. Or he is 2 years older than me. So he was in 10th grade and he was 15 when we met.
And really nice kid.
Oh, he's a man now.
Well, I mean, he's a man now. He was a nice kid then. I got to meet his mom technically before they started dating.
Yeah.
And her and I are now like
besties.
She is my person I call when,
partner in crime.
Yeah, my partner in crime. She's the person I vent to. She's the person that, I ask advice from, and vice versa. So
she's my mommy number 2.
Yeah, and I love her kids like my own, and I want only the best for them. But watching their relationship grow and change over the past 3 years has been
recently just hit 3 years.
Has been a good experience. And what was the first thing that you noticed about him before you guys started dating?
His smile.
Yeah?
Yeah, because with me being an underclassman, we didn't have like classes together. But with PE, they kind of have it set up like where all grades are kind of combined. So we had PE together, and it was like the last class of the day. And I remember I had sat down, mind you, it was like the second day of school, so I was still fairly new. And I was like talking to this girl, and then I seen him walk in, like laughing with his friend. And they sat in front of us, mind you, I was sitting behind the friend first. I was like, we gotta switch. And I don't think I had a boyfriend at the time.
No, you didn't, because you and your...
No, the day we met I did.
No, you didn't.
No, I did, because we broke up that night.
No, he broke up with you but when school started, I thought.
The second day of school.
Oh. Yeah, but he was in a relationship at the time.
Yeah, he was in a relationship. I think they were together for like 3 months. And they broke up probably a couple weeks after like we met. And so that was interesting. But then
you were the catalyst.
Yeah, sometimes they just need a little push. Just a little push, trip a little bit.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we started dating probably like a week after, and then yeah.
And the rest is history.
Here we are now, practically married.
Not practically, but they have been solid in their relationship for 3 years, and watching them date is so different than I feel like dating was when I was your age. Granted, I didn't start dating as young as you did. I wasn't allowed, but I never followed that same thought process. But watching you guys grow and choose to stay in a relationship and not let drama dictate your guys' decisions or whether or not you were together, or he said she said kind of thing, or she said. But I mean, what would you say is the most important thing in your guys' relationship, or what's made it the strongest?
Definitely like being able to like having the initiative to work on things, like having an open mind. Because like if your communication skills are like crap and your partner like communicates that, then having an open mind to be like, yeah, like I've noticed that, like I need to work on that. Because you don't want to change yourself completely as a person for another person, but when you're in a relationship, you make risks, you make sacrifices for the person that you
You
love.
make risks or you
Yeah,
take
you
risks?
take risks. You make them, you take them all the way. But definitely having an open mind.
What is something in your guys' relationship that is not typical in society?
Um, I don't know. Like, well, it's typical in society. Well, I guess like maybe our age gap.
No, I'd say your guys' age is
Oh, wanting to get like married young, I guess, or like engaged young.
no, I would say that's still pretty normal in society, because I got engaged young. Um, but I was thinking more of waiting
Hmm.
and choosing not to take that final step yet
Some
in.
people wait till marriage,
Well, and that's more of the
religion type
the
thing.
biblical path.
Hmm.
um and not everybody agrees with that. um but I think being each other's first is not typical in society. um
Especially in like this time, like a lot of people, they'll 13, 12, 13, like.
to me it's too young. I mean, even I wish I would have waited longer than I did. um but even then I was on the older end of the spectrum. I mean, at 16, that was
Well, it's not like I'm waiting till I'm an adult.
practically, though.
Kind of.
Practically.
A little bit.
Yeah. But what else would you say is important in your relationship?
Um, Besides like communication and like, oh, like when we have an argument, like this is something that I said like from the beginning. I think I've said it before we even dated. Is like taking breaks, like even bringing it up's not an option. Breaking up's not an option. Because if I feel like if you have the mindset of like
You can
we
get out.
we can get through this, like you can make it last. If that's really your person. And I feel like when you know it's your person, you know it's your person. Because like with my previous boyfriend before him, like I never saw a future with him.
Right.
But like as I met Matt before we were dating, like I could just see it. And I had never felt that way about anybody else.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, you'd had a few quote unquote boyfriends, although I would
I was pretty
consider
young though, so I don't really.
I would consider Matthew your first like legitimate boyfriend.
Yeah.
Um because you guys could actually go on dates and we did things together. I loved the fact that we did things together as families,
Mhm.
and like,
Like the first Thanksgiving we all spent together. We had
yeah,
only been dating for like 2 months.
right. But even before that, we celebrated your birthday,
Yeah.
you know,
And we all went
or
to the beach, even Nana and Papa.
right. So like it was, people always talk about dating in like groups and stuff, but you usually assume that it's like a group of your peers.
Mhm.
I enjoyed being able to get to know his family along with him and how their dynamic and their relationships were, to really get a better idea of the type of person that you were choosing to date.
Yeah.
I really liked that aspect. I did not have that when I was your age, because I also dated a guy in high school. Um, and he was less than a year older than I was. Granted, we weren't in school together. We had met through mutual friends. But I ended up, I don't know, probably 6 months after we started dating, we got engaged when I was 16. And then I graduated high school. Or the way that it went is I turned 18 in March, graduated in May, and then I got married that July. Um, and we had been with each other for 2+ years. And I guess that's maybe something that I always look at is because I feel like sometimes you're making the same choices that I made, right? And so obviously every parent doesn't want their child to make the same mistakes that they did. But I look at yours and Matthew's relationship and it's so vastly different than the one that I had with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it and I see all the differences, and I look at all the challenges that I went through, and the decisions that we had to make, and things that weren't even discussed until after we got married, and watching you guys already have those discussions and always already made those choices, already figured out how you want to, what your 5-year plan is, and things like that is amazing.
Well, I also think it's different because of like stuff that happened with his dad, and then stuff that happened with my dad is like he doesn't want to be an absentee father.
Right.
He wants to be better than that, or even an absentee partner.
Well, and here's the thing, you guys are breaking the cycles
Mm-hmm.
that you don't want repeated. And I feel like I changed the way that I did things versus the way that I was raised in some things, with you guys. So because there were certain things that I didn't want to do the same way. I wanted things to be different. I wanted to be more than I was. And, you know, although you're following a similar path to what I did, I see your guys' marriage actually lasting. I feel like you guys are going to grow together. And I think that was part of the issue with my relationship with your dad, is that we didn't grow together. We didn't attack things or come at things together. And I think there were other things that hindered our relationship.
Yeah.
One of which I would say is the relationship that he had with his mom.
Yeah.
It felt very much like she was more of a priority than I was, or than you guys were.
And that's something like I'll ask him. Like I see TikToks and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, if your wife, your mom, and your sister were in a fire, and like you had to save one first," and he was like, "You, cause like you're my family." Like he's starting a life with me,
Mm-hmm.
and cause his mom raises him to be able to
Provide.
provide,
Mm-hmm.
so she's like preparing him to have his own family.
Right.
So, and that would be me. Like, I'm his family. That doesn't make her any less
important.
Yeah, it doesn't make her any less
But
important.
it does. It does in a way, because when you guys take that next step and you get married, right? That's then your family.
Yeah.
Your family is more important than your extended family.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get hung up, is, oh, but I'm their parent, or I'm their, I knew them first, or
But that's the whole
whatever.
point of a parent. They prepare you for your adult life because you don't live with your parents. You shouldn't live with your parents like you shouldn't rely on them how you should rely on a partner.
Right. So you shouldn't be dependent or codependent, even in a relationship, but definitely not with your parents.
Yeah.
Like, I have tried to raise you and your brother in a way where you guys have learned how to be independent while still living at home.
Yeah, I feel like we're both pretty independent.
Right. But I'm still here until you guys hit adulthood to catch you if you fall, to help support you, to help guide you, or help you make a decision if you ask for advice. And although I had my parents I could have gone to, to ask advice, and I did repeatedly go ask my parents for advice and stuff during my first marriage. And but I didn't tell them everything that was going on.
Well, I don't feel like a child or minor, whatever you want to consider it, doesn't tell their parent everything.
Well, no, I wasn't a minor because I was already married. I was an adult.
Um,
So at that point in time, the relationship and the dynamic changes, you know? And so I went to them plenty of times for advice. And for the most part, I followed their advice, and I wasn't perfect. I definitely made mistakes of my own. It relationships are not a one party fault. There's fault on both sides.
Well, there's like decisions that you make with your partner that you don't like ask for your parents' advice on, I feel like.
I mean, maybe, I guess can you give me an example?
Like, mm, like if you're at the age to give consent and you and your partner decide to take that step, you should talk to your parent about it, but you don't have to. And that is a step in a relationship that people choose to take.
No, okay, so I get that. I think I'm talking more of like actual decisions, not intimacy in a
Like,
relationship.
mm,
Like if you decide to send your kid to private school,
yeah, I feel like
or
that's not something that, like, that's something like
the
you would
couple should
make,
make
yeah,
together.
not like
Yeah.
get other people's opinion on.
Well, I think for me, because I knew we had a lot of struggles in our marriage,
Mhm.
that I was going to my parents for advice because one, they were godly people, and two, I had watched them have struggles in their marriage and overcome and continue and all of that. And I was always taught that there's always a way to fix something.
Mhm.
And eventually I got to the point with my first marriage that I felt like I had exhausted all of my options and all of my choices and all of those things to try and fix it and make it work. And then I was just like, you know what? You left, and you left me with 2 children.
Mhm.
And this isn't the first time you walked out because you didn't want to have a conversation with me or whatever. I'm not living like this anymore, and I'm not allowing my children to have to live like this.
Yeah, I feel like there is always a way to fix something if both parties are willing to work on it.
I would agree, and I think at that point I was trying to do all the work myself.
Yeah.
But the other party was not willing to actually put forth the effort or the work.
They didn't have an initiative to want to do that.
No. And obviously that marriage fell apart and it dissolved, and I was single for like
10 years?
Almost 10 years, 8 years.
10 years.
8 years. No, well, we got divorced, and our divorce was finalized June 3rd of 2015. And
it's 2025.
Uh-huh. So it was like 8 years.
Yeah, but you were single.
Well, technically he left in 2014, and I was alone for that entire year before
And you got married in 2023?
2023, yes. I got married June
23rd.
24th?
23rd, 24th.
24th. I think it's the 24th.
How do you not know?
I know, right? I'm horrible at that. At that point, I have a man's brain.
September 17th.
But so I had been single or not living. I had dated, but I wasn't living with anyone or in a seriously committed relationship with anyone for 8 years before I met my now husband, who we were friends and had a good relationship, and everyone always was like, why are you friends? Like, your guys' relationship is weird. Like, no, I never claimed to be normal, okay? Just so everyone is clear.
She's not normal.
I never claimed to be normal. but no one ever understood the kind of friendship or relationship that we had. And then it ended up developing into more. And granted, neither one of us told the other that we had feelings for each other. And so we just continued our friendship until late 2022. But really, it probably started in 2021. When we still lived in Missouri, and he came and lived with me, and he had health issues, and ended up having to have surgery done, and I went to the hospital, and that was all of those. A lot of things went on with that, and I think at that point things really changed for me, but I wasn't in a place where I could say that things had changed for me. Like really shifted, and I knew that I had stronger feelings than what I allowed myself to say that I had to anybody.
Yeah.
Um
And then you guys got married
yep,
in
and
2023.
we got married in 2023, and we've been married for over 2 years now, and
I'm a year ahead of him.
she likes to think
No,
that, but
I
if we're
know.
going off how long I've known him since 2019.
Yeah,
So
but
that
you
means
guys
that I-
haven't been dating
Yeah,
or
I-
together. You haven't been together.
I mean, you could consider it courting. He
were-
was courting me
no,
for many
because
years.
you were in a different relationship.
Okay, that is true. I was in a very bad, toxic, narcissistic relationship, which was my biggest regret of my life. I wish I'd never met this person. I wish I'd never been in a relationship with them.
The only post I had was his daughter. I
Oh,
still
yeah.
talk to her.
I love her. I wish that.
The best for her.
Oh yeah, I absolutely wish the best for her, and I wish that we could have had more of a relationship after things ended. But with the way that he is, that was not even an option. There were lots of threats made, and I'm just gonna state it on here just in case it ever happens. If I ever go missing, it's him. Okay, you guys have this to reference. If I ever go missing, it is my ex from Missouri. Anyone who knows me knows who that is. But reference this podcast. It's him.
It's
Look
proof.
into him.
This is evidence.
Okay, this is evidence. But I am very happy in my relationship now, and this marriage is completely different than any of my prior relationships. And even though I had a lot of my firsts with your dad, and there were lots of things that I learned that I didn't want in a relationship, I wouldn't trade what I've gone through with him, because then I wouldn't have you and your brother, and I couldn't imagine my life without you guys.
Yeah.
So, but relationships are hard and difficult, and it's full of compromise.
Whoever said it was easy lied.
Yeah, they're liars.
They
Liar,
lied
liars.
really bad.
Liar, liar, pan on fire.
Pants on fire.
Pants on fire. But I think one of the biggest things for my relationship is that we have God that is the center of our relationship. And no, not everything is perfect. Okay, let's make sure we get that out there. We're human beings. We all have quirks and pet peeves and irritants. But I love him.
And kinks.
And kinks.
I was trying to think of the word. I was gonna say quirks? I don't know.
Quirks.
Something you said. Kinks, sorry. Continue.
Okay.
Just want to point that out.
So, but I hope that everyone can find their person.
When
Mhm. And I'm, even with my marriage now, like I mentioned last week, I had people, family, friends in my life that told me that they didn't understand why I was getting married, and that I had always said I'd never get married again. And I swore up and down I'd never get married again.
Oh yeah, she did.
You should never say never.
Never.
But to me, that just solidified that was more my person than just the way I felt. And here we are, 2.5 years later, starting a business, working on, doing this podcast, and finding happiness and joy and love.
Love, like
Love.
I said, love.
We're finding love.
Loveve.
RESPC.
All right.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That's our scoop on love.
Yeah, that's our scoop on love and relationship dynamics. And even though,
don't settle for less.
Don't settle for less than what you deserve.
Yeah.
Because
read smut, your standards will be real high. Real high.
Yeah, nobody will be able to compete with that.
No.
I mean, he'd have to be.
You gotta dream about them for it to be real.
I mean, maybe.
No, you have to dream about it. People don't exist like that.
But the grass isn't greener on the other side. Okay.
It's purple.
Yeah. Or,
red.
Pink. It's pink.
It's
Pink
red.
grass. But pay attention. Ask questions. And ask the hard questions. If you're an adult like I am getting remarried, to me one of the big things, even at her age, is, do you want to have kids?
Yes.
Because I already have kids, right? And he already had kids. So we both, neither one of us, wanted to have additional children.
You're too old to have kids.
I am not too old. I'm not even 40 yet.
I'm like 60.
I am not. Jeez.
When you're 60, I'll be
40.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be old.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
I'm not getting old.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be young forever.
The only way that's gonna happen is if the rapture happens and you never age after that.
Maybe. Just it can wait till like 30 something.
Oh, okay.
Let me just get married and have kids first.
So, but I mean, wait for that person. Make sure that you are solid. I would suggest that you guys have the same religious beliefs, like your faith, the same political views. I would say that you should agree on more than you disagree.
Yeah, even if you want to punch him in the face.
Or trade him for a midnight Milky Way. So.
Or bitch slap him.
Yeah, or smother him with a pillow. I mean, there's all kinds
options.
of things. Yeah. But love them. Make sure you love them and that you can.
You'll get spoiled. You'll be a princess.
I mean, she'll be a princess. I'm not going to be a princess.
Get princess treatment.
I'm too old for princess treatment.
I'll forever have princess treatment.
Okay.
Until I have a daughter.
Yeah, and then you're replaced.
Yeah, quick.
Yep. But, send us in your guys' stories. Let us, we can, maybe next week we can go over any questions or stories that get sent in of other people's relationships, so that we can see it from multiple points of view. What's your opinion? What's your thoughts? Yeah. But there's the down low. There's the scoop
For the day.
Or
the week.
Nugget of knowledge.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
A little spice in your life.
Yeah, a little spice, little heat for your treat. Don't forget to go trick or treating next month. Doesn't matter your age. We all enjoy that.
Dress up for me.
Yeah.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
All you people love me.
Yep. So we all have to, dress up and celebrate her birthday. So why not go trick or treating?
Candy and presents. Just for me.
Yep, just for you.
Okay.
But I think, that our relationships will evolve and prosper and grow into something better than they are now.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But there it is. That's the slice of knowledge. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us this week, and join us next week, same time, same place, same chaos. Have a great night.